In the online classroom, I'm very proactive about keeping all my students enrolled in my course. This may sound like a given in any course, but I believe that there's a much higher rate of online students dropping a course, especially in the first week. As early as I can before the start date of the course, I send an email welcome letter to my students. I give them my expectations for the first week so that they know when they need to log in. For example, many students want to know if there are scheduled times to be online or if the course is asynchronous. I remind them about the textbooks and also give the first week's readings. I encourage them to email me with any questions. By about the third day, I send a short email to any student who has not entered the course. I ask if they have any questions or concerns I can help them with and tell them to email me with questions. I also reassure them that it's not too late to jump in and join the course. If I still haven't heard from a student, I will forward his or her name to our academic advisor. If I sense a student is very frustrated or lost, I'll ask them for a contact number and a good time to call. I'll then reach out to the student by telephone. Students are very relieved to know that someone who they can't see cares about their success.
Set boundaries through clear course policy. You are responsible for setting the tone and for ensuring students understand basics such as assignment submission, late penalties, and how to contact you. Give students an estimate of when to expect responses from you. The average 18-year-old texts, tweets, and streams data constantly, and your generation-wise students will expect immediate responses to online questions. Let students know when and how often you are on the course site.
You've got to be proactive about the details. To make an online class experience work well, you really need to be very well organized, and you need to have the details locked down. You've got to ask for feedback. The students know what's working for them and what needs improvement. Ask them. Of course, not all ideals can be implemented. Despite occasional requests, I don't post my lecture notes. Despite some concerns, the final exam still counts for 50%.
Teaching a course for the first time in a face-to-face setting, I tended to create the next couple of weeks' lessons at a time, adjusting them as I went based on what material I was actually able to cover in a particular week. When I moved to online courses creation, I realized I needed to think about the flow and the content for all 15 weeks up front. While initially that seemed overwhelming, as I worked through the process, I was able to imagine how the different weeks would transpire and what I wanted the students to learn in each unit.
Try to think of all of the questions a student might have about the course or assignments ahead of time. Include answers to these questions in your syllabus or assignment sheets, and placing answers in multiple places on Blackboard is a good idea. For example, in all of the classes I teach or direct, I have a Getting Started folder that contains the syllabus, a course orientation lecture, assignment sheets, and rubrics. Some of those materials also are found in assignment folders and in the weekly folders. This makes it easy for students to find information. In addition, I encourage sending a welcome email to students that briefly explains the course or what your students should know when starting. For example, one of the courses I direct is a hybrid course. Therefore, in the welcome email, instructors spell out what that means and how much time students can expect to spend online and face-to-face.